Am I the butthole if I tell my boyfriend not to refer to and introduce me as his wife? My 30F boyfriend, 33M, have been together for over 5 years and have a 1-year-old son together. We've been homeless together, lost a baby together, and slowly built our lives back up. He never liked the idea of marriage, saying, "I don't see why the government has to be involved and why we should have to prove our love to anyone. I get it, but marriage/a proposal are very important to me." He said he'd marry me because he plans on being with me indefinitely anyway and because he thinks it'd be good for our son. During my pregnancy, he mentioned several times that he wanted to get married before our son was born. I waited but never got a proposal or anything. Last month was our 5-year anniversary and I thought it'd be great to get married that day. I was heartbroken he still never proposed, especially because he proposed to his last girlfriend before me with a ring and everything. I let the idea of a romantic proposal go and reminded myself that marrying him was the most important part. He said if we could pull it off he was fine with it. He wanted nothing to do with setting it up, which was okay with me. Even for our baby shower he said he didn't want to hear about it, so a family friend and I took care of it ourselves. I changed my schedule at work, picked a location, time, 2 witnesses and someone ordained to officiate. It was meant to be a small ceremony just to sign the license to make it legal. I ran some of the details by him throughout planning and he kept agreeing they were fine. 2 days before the wedding, the day I planned to go get the license, he said he felt forced and pushed into getting married and didn't like the idea of doing it now. So I had to cancel everything and explain to everyone at work when they asked how the wedding went. It was so pathetic and humiliating. I went into a major depressive episode and didn't even think we would be together much longer. He said he'd definitely marry me eventually but not now. I told him after what happened I would never bring up marriage to him again. His response was, "Okay, great. That's awesome." Not sarcastic at all, just completely relieved and happy. But I also told him that I wouldn't just be his girlfriend forever. He didn't seem bothered by that, he was just happy I'd shut the F up about getting married to him. He recently introduced me to someone as, "This is my wife, Alicia." It felt like a slap in the effing face. He'd referred to me as his wife occasionally throughout the years before the wedding fiasco, but the fact that he still today calls me his wife really upsets me, because he effed off that chance when he had it. Would I be the butthole if I told him I don't appreciate being called his wife after everything that happened and to not refer to me as such? I want to make sure I'm not in the wrong before I bring it up and potentially cause an argument over it. NTA after something like that I'd correct him in public with something like, "No, I'm his girlfriend. I would have been his wife but he recently backed out of our wedding. I feel you deserve some clarity. He doesn't want to marry you but he feels the need to introduce you as his wife?" Other good ones would be, "You have a wife? Can I meet her? We're married? No one ever told me. Was I in a coma? Wait, I thought you said you didn't want to get married?" He's embarrassing you by refusing to consider your needs, so don't bother considering his when you call him out on his BS. I want original post to do this and update us. Spoiler warning, doing this may feel cathartic and justified but it will almost definitely contribute to burning the relationship to the ground. If original post wants to resolve this and continue the relationship, she needs to have adult conversations with him. If original post wants to end the relationship, she should just do that. Snarking and sniping with pithy remarks never helps anything end well. Please stop telling me she already had these conversations because A, she doesn't mention it in her op, B, as I said above, if she doesn't want to communicate to resolve the problem, she should leave gracefully like an adult. Still doesn't justify being a sarcastic butthole. And C, like 20 other people have already said so and you aren't offering any new insights. She did say that she told him she had no intention of being his girlfriend forever, to which he didn't seem to have a problem. So, maybe burning it to the ground is a good option here. Yup, it really sounds like this relationship deserves to be set ablaze. People who drag you along with promises will always keep doing that. From how he proposed to his ex I gather he's not afraid of commitment, he just doesn't want to give it to op. Sounds like my ex, who kept me as his plan B without even having a defined plan A, just waiting for a better prospect to present itself but enjoying too many benefits of the relationship to end it while waiting. Also, if he's like my ex, he might backpedal when she leaves, but doubtfully pull through. He had 5 years. If he were to do it, he would have done it. According to the op, the reason he cited for considering marrying her in the first place is that it would be good for their son. Nothing about her. Between that and him proposing to the previous GF, it's pretty clear he doesn't want to marry her. Sounds like no great loss to her, frankly. He sounds like he needs to grow a spine and pull his head out. She should definitely light this relationship on fire and GTFO. Life is too short to spend with someone who doesn't really want to be with you. I would bet money that if they break up that the boyfriend will date someone else and be engaged within the year. It's not about his fear of commitment or getting married in general, he just has no desire to marry Op. The next one? He will jump all over that. Op, don't waste another minute on someone who is basically stringing you along because it is comfortable for him. You deserve happiness and he isn't it. Ding 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 winner. If you split up, Op, he will realize he effed up and get engaged/married fairly quickly to the next person he dates. It will feel like those years with him were wasted and maybe that's why you're still hanging around, but look up sunk cost fallacy. The best time to get rid of someone whose life plans are not in line with yours is when you first realize. The second best time is now. Wishing you happier times ahead, Op. You can do this. Wife? I'm not even sure if I'm still your girlfriend. Op, people on my level of petty, I feel at home. Wife? Oh yeah, we were going to be married. Where are we at on that, by the way? Wife? I thought you canceled the wedding? Maybe I was just so overwhelmed with joy that I forgot it. So yeah, for our wedding I was thinking the gardenias would look amazing when we wait. What? Wedding? You know, the thing we were going to do? What do you mean you don't remember? Or just oh my gosh, are you finally proposing? And then cry. Okay, I really want to keep this going but I think you won with this one. Props to you. I will take this with pride, for I am not as well versed in such things and this will be my first win. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I think the best one is, no, I'm actually his ex. Op, he's using you as company until he finds something he thinks is better. He said he's planning on staying with you indefinitely. He refuses to get married but wants to use the terms, play house with you, and get all the benefits without committing. He promises he'll marry you eventually after backing out 2 days before the ceremony. I'm sorry, but he's never going to propose or marry you. You deserve so much better than this. He knows this means a lot to you and still doesn't care enough about you to commit. You and your child deserve better. Seriously. That, and he proposed to his last girlfriend. Obviously all of his claims about not wanting to prove their love to the government are BS and it's really just that he's taking advantage of Op. Very true. I could maybe see if it was a traumatic breakup with the ex being nervous about proposing again, but at this point he should have worked through those issues. No matter what, he's proven he doesn't see original post as marriage material, and she should move on to someone who actually appreciates her. Yeah. In the very least, he should have been upfront about being gun-shy about a marriage if the last one ended badly, etc. But the government doesn't need to know we love each other is such an obvious cop-out. This makes me think of my friend. She was with her boyfriend for 15 years and he would not marry her or have kids with her. He had a motorcycle accident and was paralyzed and a few months after asked her to marry him. I was always mad at him. She was not good enough to marry until he knew he could not do anything without her. Now she is doing everything for him and we have lost contact as she does not have any time for herself and cannot go anywhere as he needs her all the time. Edit, not the butthole, you deserve better. Yep. It's the idea of keeping your options open until you know for sure you can't do better. And it's BS. Wish I could upvote this more. He's never going to marry you, Op. Leave. NTA. And Op, don't settle for a pity proposal, don't get your hopes up. If he wants to marry you he will set it up, he will work the details out and that's the only acceptable route at this point. Be upfront with what you expect and start saving money to leave. Honestly, I don't think I could be with someone after a stunt like that. He let original post on for over a year and lied about how he was okay with getting married. He made her plan everything then forced her to cancel everything because he suddenly felt pressured. And when he saw how heartbroken and upset original post was over it, he didn't care in the slightest. He was openly relieved that she wasn't going to push marriage anymore. Sorry, but after that he wouldn't be introducing me as anything except as his ex-girlfriend. He's a selfish, heartless, inconsiderate a-hole. Edit. Thank you, kind stranger, for the award. He wants the rewards without any of the commitment, which is wild considering they have a goddamn child together. That actually makes sense to me. He stays with her because it's the best he has right now, and so the egg can be a little family. But he wants to keep himself open in case something else comes along. Then original post can just be the baby mama. He probably is only sticking close to her to avoid having to pay child support. I'd bet my left ass cheek he does not do his share of parenting and sees it as her job to take care of the kid. You said it. The big picture is how he's treating her, and it's not good. Totally okay for someone not to want to get married but to string her along like that, only to cancel and have seemingly no remorse for that. Maybe it's said too often, but let people show you who they are and believe it. I have been with my so for 13 years. If he introduces me as his wife, I still say no, I'm not. We are happy and have 2 wonderful kids, but we aren't married. I'm okay with not being married, but don't call me your wife till you make me your wife. Same here, 10 years, 2 kids and a mortgage, but call me your wife when you haven't married me yet, and that is a big no from me. To be fair, I have always been the one to be logical and told him to wait, as I was not fussed at all about being married, and it was more of a priority to get money for the house and kids than for a bit of paper. I just wish I could have the same rights without having to have the whole archaic ceremony and having to spend money and having family and friend expectations, etc. It just feels so unnecessary a thing to have to do for decent rights within a relationship in this day and age when you have been with someone for a certain length of time. If you really are not that bothered about it, you should automatically get given those rights regardless if you have been together, say, at least 5 years or been living together for at least 3. Edit. When I say it just feels so unnecessary a thing to have to do for decent rights, I am meaning having to be married. I am more against the need for that in order to get the rights that come with it, rather than just meaning the ceremony/money, etc. You all raise good points, but I think I didn't write my comment overly well and some people got the wrong end of the stick. I completely understand that there are multiple ways to get married that do not cost a lot. It is just that it is something I feel like there should be an alternative for people who don't want or do not feel the need to be married at all but still should get those rights with their partner automatically after a certain point in the relationship. I am in no way trying to scorn marriage, and I absolutely support anyone who it is important for, but am I not also allowed the right to feel as though I should not have to marry my partner of 10 years to get the same rights as someone who got married to their partner after 1 year if I personally do not feel that marriage is right for me at this point in time? There isn't much money or archaic ceremony involved in going to the courthouse. You just sign a piece of paper and are married. I don't even remember what my marriage license cost because it was under $50. You don't need a wedding to get married, like original post says. And now my husband and I are each other's medical proxy. That was the biggest thing for us. I can't stand ignorant people like you that scorn marriage as just a piece of paper. That piece of paper means you are the one that will make decisions about your significant other's care should they become critically ill and unable to make their own decisions. Without it, his family gets to make the decisions and can even block you from visiting if they want. That piece of paper will allow you to decide what happens if your significant other dies. Without it, his family gets to, and they can block you from even attending the funeral. Do you live in a house that's in his name only or have a lease that's in his name only? That piece of paper protects you. Without it, should he die, the house goes to his family, not you. Got a lease? His family can cancel it and take everything. That piece of paper also gets you a hefty deduction on your taxes and lots of other benefits too. Wise up. I agree. That piece of paper is the only thing that allows me to stay with my husband in his home country. That commitment also is what made me feel comfortable enough giving up my entire life, home, family, and friends to be here. It's what allows my husband to be my beneficiary and to make medical decisions for me. It's what allowed me to be on his company's private medical insurance when I needed it. It's a right that Kia Plus people fought for so long. It's fine if you don't want to get married, but stop belittling how important it is to so many people. Yeah, gay people have fought for that paper for generations. That is some privileged nonsense. NTA. Here are some things you are now free to do that would still not make you the butthole. Get your own apartment. Get child support. Start dating other people who mean what they say. You do not need to discuss any of the above with him, because nothing this man has to say means anything. The man is a joke. Op needs to realize that she will never be his wife, and that says a lot. Right? I understand some don't want to marry, but they're usually honest as to why and don't promise to marry when they have no intent to. I don't get why people would marry, and in the beginning of the post his arguments made sense, no need to involve the government and everything. Then the post got gradually weirder and I don't get what's going on in the mind of this guy. This is not a question of marrying or not. He clearly doesn't know what he wants and is not a suitable partner for a stable relationship, let alone raising a child. Original post needs to find someone who can return her love and be a responsible partner and parent. Honestly, with the indefinitely comment I started thinking, oh, so he's just using you as a placeholder. Then there was the whole them having a kid together and I questioned that for a second, and then there was the not wanting to take part in the planning or prep for his own baby nor wedding. And the feeling pressured 2 days before his own goddamn wedding, that he had lots of prior notice, gigantic eye roll, and we're back to oh, so he's absolutely using you as a placeholder. He's just also an idiot who accidentally got you pregnant. I think his attitude towards helping with anything should show you how great of a dad/husband this guy's going to be. Sounds like he doesn't want to be with her at all, to be honest. Like they're roommates, grimacing face. With benefits presumably, at least at one point. Yeah, but the whole government doesn't need to be up in our business argument kind of loses its power once you pay taxes, list them as a long-term partner, or have a baby with a birth certificate. Yeah. Original post is ignorant to the fact that the government statement has no weight. I bet this dude has either a driving license or a passport too. There are some good reasons, like the ability to make medical decisions if your partner can't, ease of dealing with common children, inheritance, medical insurance, and so on. It's not completely for the feels alone. Based on the number of people I have seen, and heard about on Reddit, that broke up with someone who didn't believe in marriage, then a year or less later find that person married to someone else, I would say that the saying that they don't want to marry you must be pretty accurate. What? When did we get married? Did I miss it? NTA. Call him out on it. You're not overreacting or in the wrong. He wants all the benefits of being married without actually putting in any effort. If he's going to call you his wife, then he actually needs to make it official. If you want to be extra petty, call him out in front of whoever he's introduced you to. Dude, I'm not your wife until you put a ring on it. Do this. The next time he introduces you as his wife, embarrass the hell out of him with an "excuse me, I'm not your wife." I'm not your wife. You made me cancel our wedding. Don't you remember? Yeah, oh my god, he absolutely humiliated her. He didn't technically ditch her at the altar, but he basically did. She had to explain to all her friends that he decided at the last minute not to marry her, not to show up, dress decently, and say I do. Like, her expectations were/are so low, and yet he still keeps limboing under them. Poor kid deserves to see his mom thriving and happy and loved, not like this. More of "excuse me, but you didn't want me to be your wife when I planned the wedding last year's, so don't call me the thing you refused me to be, because he must understand that he is the only one responsible of that. It's not the fate, nor you, that doesn't want to be married. I'm not your wife, you refused to get married to me, remember? Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.